My name is Dale. My last name is Berg. Everybody just calls me Dale, and that's what I go by. I was born in the Viroqua area, but then I lived right up the street. I would say lacrosse is my heart and soul. I used to come downtown as a little kid all the time, ride the bikes, the neighborhood kids, go through all the entire neighborhoods. And it was like unbelievable. My grandma lived 2 blocks from us over on 8th and Cass, and we lived at 124 South 8th in this nice big house with all my brothers and sisters. There was 5 others. I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters. Back in the day, it's like all your family members kind of like grew up right around you. So it wasn't like you lived in home and you lived here. Everybody lived in this whole area. And I love lacrosse. Growing up down here, I used to shop all those stores, go to Dorflinger's. One of my favorite stores was Kama's. Coney Island was a hangout as a kid. We'd all pile into Coney Island, group of kids, and hang out. We'd all go to the Rivoli Theater and watch movies together, have popcorn. It was more of a family thing rather than, it wasn't like, how do I say, people come in and they would plan it. It was like all the time. And then I always remember going to church every Sunday. My grandma would come and pick us up because she lived 2 blocks away. We'd always have our best clothes on. We would walk down 8th Street, go up King Street, go to church, and then we'd all come back and we'd have a big family dinner. I've been working since I was probably 10. I started cleaning bars. I would get up really early in the morning and ride my bike, clean the bars, be at school at 8:15, and do school. And then I was done, and I would do that every day, nonstop. So I did that for the longest time, cleaning bars to make money. And then after that, I became a busboy over at Hotel Stoddard. As you get older, like you're 18, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. My teacher, I always call her Lucy. That's not her real name, but I also loved Lucille Ball. So I called her Lucy because she had red hair. She mentored me into accounting, and I was always good at numbers. So I didn't know if I should go to college or what I should do. So in the summer of 1977, because I graduated high school early, went to college right away, and I started an accounting degree. I got my accounting degree, and then I transferred all my credits to Viterbo, where I got my BA. And then I started my store in 1980. It was actually August 20th, 1980, with another family member. I knew a lot about numbers, marketing, and I knew a lot about clothing. I ran the store, bought the clothes, and got it all going. And I was also a bartender too. In order for me to make money, I had to have another job because I couldn't live off what I was making at the store. My store was located around the corner on 5th and Main, and one of my friends that owns Bodega, he needed a bartender, and I said, well, I could only do maybe one night a week. So I started working for him over there from 10 to 2 every Wednesday or Thursday. It was one night a week, and I would go over there and work, and then I kept looking at this building. I go, what a beautiful building. I mean, when it was slow, it just like, God, that is a great building. I had ideas for a secondhand store, and I approached Dick Olson, who owned this building in the beginning, and I said, I would have an idea. I want to put a store on your first floor. And he agreed. We signed a 3-year lease, but with I had first right of refusal if anybody wanted to buy the building. Well, when we opened up a secondhand store, within a year it was doing so well, then I asked Dick, I want to buy your building, and he said yes. So that's when everything started, and we made put some improvements into the building. So when I first bought the building, the first thing I was to save the building, because on this third floor where I'm at, it was leaking. There was buckets everywhere. It was ruining the floor. The ceiling fell. We started remodeling the first floor, and for the secondhand store was in there, but then we remodeled it even more. So then we ripped up all the carpeting, took down the false ceiling, and then we really realized how beautiful this building was. So we got it all done, and then like, oh my God, I don't know if this can be a secondhand store. So there it gave me the idea of moving Dale's from 5th and Main over into this building. And that's when it all started. I had buddies that knew how to do carpentry and everything like that. So he happened to come back into town. He's a rock climber and a master carpenter. And he goes, I can help you. His name's Fred Scamp. And he's the one that put up all the big timbers, had all his buddies come in. We cleaned all the timbers and did that. I sanded all the floors myself with a couple other friends. We did the basement, and that's how it all came apart. So we moved the secondhand store up to the second floor. When I used to bartend, I would look over there and like, God, just look at those, like the handshake on outside of the building, the little stars, the moon, the craftsmanship. You can't duplicate it. You can't even find anybody that does it anymore. This year is 2026. I've owned it for 45 years. Started in 1980 and another 25 at least. Have you shopped with us before?
I have not.
So let's get your phone out. I'm going to get you to follow us on all of our social media. This one's for Dale's Clothing. The next one is for Ruthie's, which is going to be our boutique hotel with an event center / bar on top of the building, and it's also rooftop.
We're going to go to where Ruthie grew up, 1014 Pine. Okay, 902.
It's the next block. It was this one right here. There was a house there, and then there was a grocery store. The store's still standing there. There was a grocery store.
That used to be a grocery store?
Yeah, called Conrad's Grocery. All the houses are still here, a lot of them.
So where?
Right here, that second house, that's my great grandma's.
The brown house?
The brownish one, yeah, it's stucco. Then we lived on 8th Street. Dale and I, we all lived on 8th. Then he went to Washburn School, Lincoln, and then Central. The old Central. Lincoln's still there. So where our house was is now the Masonic Temple. Our house was right here. Right in here. And it's all gone now. And then there was another house next to it, and then the church.
So this is where I grew up, and then there was a gentleman that lived next door to me. His name was Fred.
Yeah.
Fred lived there. And then we used to play in the yard and bring all the leaves from, and rake the leaves and make forts, and then pull up all these big boxes from Wetstein's and make forts out of them, big refrigerator boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would do that and then make forts, and then all the kids always came over to our house. And then we used to play kickball over in that yard where that lady is walking in over there. It's a big yard, and then all the kids would come over and play.
Yeah, and then Country Kitchen was behind us.
The Country Kitchen was over there. Ruthie's best friend, Margie.
She lived on 7th, and Grandma Strange lived on 7th too.
I'm going to drive by where I know my grandma used to live, which was 820 Cass Street. So Ruthie's mom and my grandma lived here until she passed away, 820 Cass Street.
Some neighborhoods just stay the same. I've lived here my whole life.
You and Grandma?
Grandma and I lived there for a long time. We lived in Holman. We had a house up there at 1516 Viking Avenue. The kids all graduated from Holman.
Well, I remember my my guidance counselor, you could hear her walking down the hall because she always wore heels and you could smell her. Mrs. Ruoff was her name. So So every time we heard her, we'd always run. So this was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then Washburn, which the school was down the 4 blocks from here, is where I went up to 6th grade. I loved it. Miss Bicycle was here, the original,
Yeah, and there's
where I got
Till.
my first Schwinn.
And there's Till's.
And then Till's place, everybody used to hang out here and get their penny candies, blackjacks, all the different kinds of gum they used to have. And it was a little diner, and she was a lady that loved everybody, and she'd let the kids hang out.
Oh, I worked for Victor. I own a Cloister.
Which is now who's on 3rd.
Who's on 3rd. I worked for Victor Scaff. He's the one that taught me how to tend bar. And then Peter Hurchin we bought the stateroom, and I worked for him in the Hotel Stoddard for 10 years. We started the stateroom, and I was the first lady licensed bartender. I've worked since I've been about 10 years old. First year babysat, and then when I turned about 12 or 13, I worked for this banker at their house. They lived on 10th and Cass across from Aquinas, 11th and Cass. It was called Van Steenhuis, and he was a banker for one of the banks down here. Him and his wife, and I worked for them for 12 years. I did that when I was in high school. Yeah, the stateroom, I don't think it's even changed inside, has it?
So who's on 3rd used to be the Cloister, right here.
Yeah, this was where the Cloister was, and Victor Scaff owned that. And I worked for him for like 4 years, and then Peter Hurchin bought the stateroom, and we started the stateroom after that. And I worked there for 10 years. Dale used to get up in the morning, come down and help me stock up the
I
beer
used to clean it
coolers.
in the morning.
He helped him work, and we did it before he went to school. We lived in Holman then, and he would come down and help me stock the coolers, get the stuff all ready for the day. And I worked there 10 years, and then he bought the Hotel Stoddard, and had a room called the Colonel's Corner, and I ran that bar too, and the party bars when they had big things going on there at the hotel. The only way a woman could tend bar when I was young was if you were married to the owner, and then that was the only time. That's the way they told me anyway. So then my lawyer got me a license, and we had to fight get a lawyer to get a license so I could tend bar. Well, I liked tending bar because I liked all the people. You learned a lot about people and made a lot of friends. There's where Dale's first store was.
423 Main Street is where I started. We were here till 1984, and then I moved across the street to that building. I was here from 1980 to 1984, moved over there 1984, and I was there until 1996, until we moved the store over to where we're at now. It was Calvin Klein jeans, Gloria Vanderbilt, Chick jeans, Xena jeans,
Esprit,
all the jeans. And then late in probably 1982, 83, we brought in Esprit. I was also known in lacrosse as Dale's Esprit. And then we moved across the street in 1984 and became an Esprit store. We were all Esprit for the longest time until we started branching out to other brands. It was basically just I would call it designer jeans from back in the day. Most of them were below $100, and then we just had nice tops, is basically what it was. And then we brought in Esprit, which kind of was the platform that catapulted me to the next level of my store. So then in 1984, I moved over to the first floor of that building. I had a small little location. And then in 1986, I opened up a men's store, which was in the lower level, but across the street, across the hallway from Dale's Clothing. And then in 1988, I took over the whole first floor of that entire building. And then I would say in 1994, 95, somebody bought the building, is when I started looking to buy the building where Dale's Clothing is at its present day. The ups and downs of retail.
yeah.
You know, it's been fun though. I love it.
I like the customers, and even some of them are older now, and they still come in there no matter how old they are. Every once in a while, they'll peek in and see if we're still working. I get a kick out of that. That's the best part is the people.
What I love about what I do is when people come into my store and it's the youngest kid who is like 13 or 14 starts shopping at the store, and then the daughter who comes in the store who brings her daughter in, but then the mom is with, and then the grandma is with, and it's like generation after generation. I would say the downtown has changed. It used to be, see, I opened up the year when the mall opened up, and all the big majors left downtown, so it was struggling for the longest time. But I had unique clothing, so it always brought the people down here. And Esprit was one of the main things. It was such a big brand back in the day. They were so innovative, how they did their marketing, and they used real people in all their ads. If you go back to the 1980s, and you would see all that. I would say the downtown has changed way for the better because of downtown Main Street. It's a program through the government that helps our downtowns through grants and all that. Now everybody is moving back downtown again. The malls are kind of slowing down or dying, and everybody is fixing up their buildings.
So the legacy I want to leave is it's homage to my mom, because my mom has been one of the hardest working ladies I've ever met. And she's a giving lady, and she's very nice to people. And it's just nice to pay honor to Ruthie. And I want people to love this building as much as I love my mom.
Right now we're going to be going into the second floor above the old Rockies, which is Palto Azul now. And it's going to have 3 different apartments up here. We're going to be going into the second unit here.
Oh my goodness.
So this is a bedroom here. Going into the courtyard out here, it's a private courtyard for this unit. And this unit has 2 bedrooms in it. What we love about this unit here is these old historic windows. They've been here, they're the original to the building. It has a city feeling. We'll walk around here and there's another bedroom over here.
That's pretty cool.
So this is the private courtyard where there'll be a place where people can grill out and sit and have drinks or whatever they want to do. And then this used to be now we're above the old what would be called it would still be above Rockies, but before that it used to be another store, but I can't remember the name of it.
I'm trying to think.
So this is the second bedroom of the first unit.
Oh my goodness. It's like a whole living room, whole house.
It is. There's
There.
5 full houses.
You want to come in and look, Ruthie, so you can see the bathroom in that?
Oh yeah. There's a bathroom in both bedrooms?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Oh, this one's nice. Is the other shower gonna have a door too?
No, because it's handicapped.
Oh. That's cool.
Oh, so that was the first unit.
Jeepers.
Now we're going into the second unit, which is on 4th Street. It has its original fireplace.
Oh.
A backsplash over there at the kitchen. And then this is a 1-bedroom. I love all the big windows here. This is the bedroom.
Oh, the bedroom.
And each unit will have a washer and dryer.
Oh, I like this.
So this is the other unit. This is a 1-bedroom unit with a big skylight in the bedroom.
Oh, this one's nice. I love it. That's pretty nice. God, these rooms are so big. You don't realize there's that much room up here.
Now we're entering the second floor above Dale's Clothing, and we're entering 2 more units. This is we call this back at Dale's. It's basically a 2-bedroom unit. Has washer and dryer over there. We took a vintage kitchen and totally restored it over here. We're gonna go down another corridor to the grand unit. It's the unit with the 3 bedrooms and high ceilings. I think every room has something cool about it. Like, you know, wait till they're furnished. So this is the original staircase for the building.
Are these original steps too?
Yep.
God, they're sturdy, aren't they?
This is the bar area. Um, that'll be all mirrored with all the liquor bottles and all that. There's 4 bathrooms up here. One behind me, which is the largest. 2 over there, and then 1 off the elevator.
Jeepers.
This used to be a coat room, and now it's going to be a liquor room with the hot water heater. This is for caterers. And then this is the main hall.
It's nice. Yeah, this is a nice place for parties.
The rooftop will be on top of the other 2 buildings.
It looks really nice, guys. Look at that old door. I love stuff like that. I like the old stuff. Are there going to be pictures on the walls and stuff?
Yep, we still have lots of pictures to get, wallpaper needs to get up.
Everything in this building, from the ceiling all the way to the basement floor, has been tuck pointed. This building is going to live on for hundreds of more years. This building where Ruthie's main event center is was an Oddfellows Center, International Order of Oddfellows. And we kept everything, all the historic stuff, to the detail. Everything that when this building was built is exactly how it was built. When you walk in, I want you to feel the history. I want you to feel very welcome. And just feel what people have gone through to be in this building to keep on, they gave back. If you know anything about the International Order of Oddfellows, they were a society that helped people in need. And they were very union orientated. They would let people use the meeting rooms up here. The second floor of this building is where there was a kitchen, it was a banquet hall, and this is where they'd have all their events. If you see what they build today, they don't know how to build buildings like this anymore. You have to find a plasterer or a contractor that knows how to do this intricate work, and they believe in what you believe in. If this building burned down, they could never rebuild it. Whenever I travel, I always try to stay in historic hotels. And there's only like 100 left in the United States that are phenomenal. I know so much about this building because I scrubbed the floors from the basement. I know it because I cleaned it myself. Just going into the corners, making that basement look so nice in the beginning. The floors up here. I'm not scared to work. I love to work. I've stayed at many, many different hotels, luxury hotels, all over the United States because I've traveled quite a bit. And you start seeing why you want to stay in a hotel that has these amenities, the history of it. I'd rather stay at a hotel or an Airbnb that has the quality of the history, and you know there's something in that building that has happened here before that is unbelievable. The quality that they put into whether it's the bedding and walking down the halls, and you feel something. Whoever the person that comes and gets this, I hope they appreciate the time that I put in here and the work and the love to keep it going. When I do something, I want it to last for a long, long time. And the detail, the quality we put into this building is top notch. We didn't skimp on anything. I'm a person that loves design, and I know exactly how it should look. So like if something's not straight, I can point it out. I can look at something and it's like, it's off a little bit. It should be the way it was designed. Why go do something if you're not going to do your best? And that's what detail and quality is. So the legacy I want to leave is it's homage to my mom, because my mom has been one of the hardest working ladies I've ever met. She's such a hard worker. She was born in 1936 over on Vine Street, and all she did was work all her life. You know, when you're growing up, you're a babysitter. My mom was I wouldn't want to say a maid, but she worked for wealthy people, cooking their food, serving their food. And that's where I think she got the knack. She's a really good cook. But it's very simple. It's all from memory. And she's a giving lady. She's a giving lady, and she's very nice to people. And all her brothers and sisters grew up in this neighborhood of downtown. And it's just nice to pay honor to Ruthie. And I want people to love this building as much as I love my mom. I think people are going to love this place so much. It's going to be one of the best spots in La Crosse that people are going to love to visit, and make this one of the best event centers, hotels in the city of La Crosse. I just want people to come here and just have the time of their life.